taking the 50K to be something you don't want to be just for the sake of making a fucking getting that bag. You know what you could do with that bag? You could shove it up your fucking ass. Because that's not what I'm about. I'm here to be passionate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do when I come for you? Nobody must be no brigade. Policeman, they get no break. Soldier man again, no break. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
All right. So before we get to any of that, just like I did yesterday, I just want to get something out of the way. All right, just get out of the way so we don't have to mention it again on the show. In the last month, we have seen a sharp decline in YouTube side support on this channel. What that means is super chats, super stickers, super thanks, memberships, and gifted memberships. Why? Because over the month of June and the first half of July, I was playing Street Fighter 6 and the same 3 RPGs. There was no variety. And when there's no variety, people kind of get a little bit tired, stagnated. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe my problem is I always think that it's my fault. Like, I think, man, the reason that this is happening is because something I did. Now, the people who were excited for Street Fighter 6, thank you. They came by every day and they usually were tipping. So the support's been good. But I saw a sharp decline in the YouTube side support. So I would say if you were thinking of supporting DSP Gaming in the coming weeks, an absolutely great way to do that would be a super chat or a membership or a gifted membership. I would actually really appreciate that. And I'm sure if you were to do something, for example, give some memberships, right? People are going to be very happy. That's something that helps the whole community. It's not just about me. It's about everyone benefiting. Having access to the emotes, being able to talk as much as they want in the chat, getting a cool chat crown badge to show your support. You know, what level of crown you have is really cool. So all these cool benefits, right? So please consider it. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying you have to do anything. My content is free and always will be. Just as I said in my last video here on DSP Gaming, the situation is dire. And I just want you to understand you can no longer take it for granted that I'm going to be around unless you step up and do something to support. But if you were thinking of supporting everything here, one great way to do that would be the YouTube side content or YouTube side support, such as those methods. So please think about it. That's it. I don't want to harp on it. I just want to move on and talk about the good stuff. So, all along since I started playing Street Fighter 6, I've been giving my opinions on the game. And of course, my hate watchers and or, stalker scumbags out there who literally stalk my every move and try to make me look bad at every moment have tried to somehow spin it off that I'm bad at fighting games, okay? They've completely tried to discredit my background in fighting games, saying that I was never good. The only times that I ever did well was a fluke or a bad version of a game that no one liked. Of course, all that is a false narrative generated by them to try to discredit me. In reality, if you actually ask people in the Street Fighter community from that time period, was Phil good? They would say, yes, he was good. At Super Turbo, he was placing everywhere he went. It wasn't just one version.
You got some idiot named DSP who's a total piece of shit, by the way.
Now, tonight, on my late stream at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, we got something new and different. It's time for the return of horror. It's been a little while since I used that. So, play a VR scary game. Arkham, I can't play VR games. Number one, there's just not enough space in this office to do it. I know because I've tried. And number two, I can't do interactive streams with you guys if I have a VR headset on. I wouldn't be able to talk with you. I wouldn't be able to do shout-outs. I've changed my formula to be different from what VR supports, so I'm not doing VR. Fucking stupid. Let's see here. Frank Weiss says, would you consider making another food channel? I don't have a food channel. What do you mean another food channel? It seems like something you're passionate and knowledgeable about. What the fuck? Maybe you could do recipes, reviews, etc. Do I like food? Yes. 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 Okay. Am I a foodie? I mean, I like watching certain food shows and stuff, but I'm not necessarily someone who's crazy. I don't travel the world looking at going for food and stuff like that. I'm not a good cook. I'm not. Here's what I can make. Okay? Sandwiches. And when I mean sandwiches, I mean like grilled cheese and stuff like that, paninis. I'm good at that. I can make a really good salad because I did it for like 4 years in high school. I know how to make good chopped salads and things like that. You know, anything that's stir fry, because it's basically you just toss it in a wok or a pan, you fry it up with some oil, you stir it. Simple. I'm not a good cook otherwise. I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't have any experience. I don't dabble in that. If I had a food channel, I wouldn't even know what I would have on it. I don't have time to travel and try various kinds of foods. All right. I had a series called DSP Tries It, where I was trying fast food once a week, and eventually it went by the wayside for 2 reasons. Reason number one, I was getting older. I didn't want to eat fast food every week. The fast foods were drying up, meaning there wasn't enough variety of fast food in the area to really support the show anymore. It was always, you know, go to Burger King, and now they have a new Whopper with a different slice of cheese on it. That's not even really new. Why am I covering that? You know what I'm saying? So really there wasn't enough to support the show anymore. It was getting boring. I didn't want to eat fast food anymore because I was getting older. And then on top of all of that, the other reason, it wasn't profitable. Like, no exaggeration, guys have to understand something, all right? YouTube used to be very different. It used to be you put out any video, and it could get anywhere from 5,000 to 25,000 views. And no exaggeration, that video would make you anywhere from $20 to $50, okay? Back in the day, I would put out a DSP Tries It that would get like 30,000 views, and I would make $100. $100 on the fucking video. So imagine going to Burger King, buying a combo meal for $8, coming home, filming yourself eating it, putting out a video, making $100. That was my reality. Today, I make the video, I put it out, it gets, 1,000 views, and I make $2. So now I'm spending $20, or okay, let's say a combo meal is $8, $9 today, to make 2. I'm losing money on food. Do you understand? Because YouTube, I can't make money on YouTube anymore, and I rely 100% on streaming. That's why I stopped doing DSP Tries It. It didn't make sense to even do it anymore. So basically I got to the point where, you know, it didn't make sense. So to do a food channel, I'd have to change so much content up. First of all, you probably want to see me cook. Well, I don't cook. So now I have to somehow figure out a way to film myself cooking in the kitchen. I don't have a video editor. Can't edit video. So, you know, how would I do that? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I can keep going on and on about this stuff, but it's like, I don't see any of this happening. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see how it's viable. I understand there's a lot of foodie videos and foodie channels on YouTube of people who are, like, known for that. I'm not known for that. Listen, do I like talking about it? Sure, why not? But I don't think if I had a channel of food content that it would catch on. I'm just being honest. And now you're talking, not only do you want me to do the gaming that I'm doing, not only do you want me to do the React stuff that I'm doing, now you want me to take even more time out somehow to do food stuff. So now the other things have to suffer. You see what I'm saying? Like, it seems like people have ideas of things to do, but no one realizes that I'm literally one dude. I'm one guy. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't have the ability to do all this stuff. I just don't, you know? I wish that I was a person who had unlimited resources, time, and a team of people working with me. Imagine if I could just cook, and then so I toss that footage to a video editor who edits it and makes these great professional level videos out of it, right? And then people enjoy it. But that's not, I've always been a one-man show. I always will be a one-man show. That's not going to change now. I've been doing this for 15 years, you know? I'm not going to get any more popular. So, you know, it is what it is. Do I like food? Yeah. Would it be something I would enjoy? Yeah. I have a passion for it a bit, I would say. But I'm not a cook. And I don't know what content I could put out for you guys that would be meaningful. I'm being honest, you know? It seems to me more it would be like a hobby where I'm putting a lot of time and money and effort into it and nothing would really come of it. It doesn't really make sense when I'm trying to run a business. You know what I'm saying? I totally don't need to, like, run a profitable business or anything, you know. The Blimp says the way you operate independently is what separates you from other content creators. If you start employing other people, excuse me, you end up having to represent them or vice versa. You know, I just saw a random tweet on Twitter last night. And now, I just want to make this clear. I'm not a political guy. I don't side politically with anybody. But I saw James Woods did a tweet last night, okay? I don't follow him. He just ended up in my feed randomly. And it was kind of a political tweet because he's a political guy. He claims that he's been canceled in Hollywood for being a Republican, basically, all right? But basically, someone were talking to him about, why don't you monetize your Twitter? You can now monetize your Twitter account. And if you monetize your Twitter by becoming a verified person or whatever, essentially you'll get a cut of the ad revenue that shows up in the ads in all of your responses. And they're saying, you know, James, you because you're a political guy, you get a lot of people who comment on your tweets. You might make some money doing it. And he basically responded and he said the following. When you accept money from someone that person now owns you. That person now has some level of control over you. And he would prefer to be independent with his thoughts than feel like anyone has some kind of control over him. Do you see? Now, I don't really know if that applies to this whole Twitter ad thing, but I could totally understand that. There's been so many times over the years where I've been offered the opportunity to represent a game, to advertise a game, to take a paid sponsorship or a paid advertisement to shill, essentially. I get them still all the time. I get emails about, hey, we got this new indie game, we got this mobile game, we got this, we'd like you to you know, push it, represent it on your channel, you know, for this amount of money, and this would be the contract where you have to do this amount of mentions, you have to have this little video ad that plays in your video and stuff like that. If you haven't noticed, not once have I ever accepted those. Not once. Why? Because you're absolutely right. If you take that money, essentially that content is now a paid advertisement. And even though there still might be people who get entertainment value out of it, right? Essentially, it's an owned video. That company now owns that content. You know what I mean? Like, they paid for the rights, and now they own that content because of the ads in it. And, you know, I don't ever want to go that route. I want to be that no matter what I'm doing on the internet, I have the ability to say and do whatever I want and be honest with my audience. I don't ever want to feel like I'm walking on eggshells and something that I say could lose a sponsorship for me, could cost me an opportunity. I hate to say it. There's a lot of people on the internet who used to be independent, and now they are 100%. Everything's a paid advertisement. Everything's a paid sponsorship. The most ridiculous things. Why is there a fucking gamer who's pushing a food product on their stream? They're a gamer. They don't know shit about food. But, hey, it's a paid advertisement, and they get paid for it, so push the product, right? That's the kind of stuff I'm telling you guys you got to be careful about. When someone is only making content for the sake of taking the paycheck, that content is null and void. Just being very honest and a heads up, I am really badly off financially right now. Extremely, incredibly just out of money. Not even lying. I really need your support. So tonight, if you're going to be supportive, great. If you cheer, sub, or tip, I'm going to give you a shout out. That's a major part of the Blackout streams, is our interaction during the streams to get conversation going. But if you have the choice of how you can contribute, please tip me tonight. This is going to be ongoing for at least the next 10 days because it's taken at least 10 days for me to get paid by Twitch this month. I am completely out of money, and I need to pay at least 3 to 4 more bills before I get paid by Twitch. You got to be careful because there's people out there who, man, they'll sound like they're honest. They sound like they're doing it because they have passion. No, they're doing it for that paycheck, or else they wouldn't fucking take that fucking shill opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a sellout. I'm not a shill. So, I don't know. I'm not like that, you know? So, you know, that's what I mean. Like, I try to be different. I've always tried to stay different. If you're right, if I have employees who are under me and I pay, now I'm responsible for those employees. I'm responsible for the level of work. I'm responsible for all of this. Like I said, this one-man show has been going pretty long. And by the way, I should say this too. I want you to understand something. I don't do it alone. It's through a community of people. But that's not, I've always been a one-man show. I always will be a one-man show. That's not going to change now. I've been doing this for 15 years, you know, right? Like the artwork I have on my streams, the lighting I have behind me, this camera that I'm staring into are 3 different people who all contributed to this content to make it better. And together as a community, we make good times together. You know what I'm saying? That's how it really works, is that that's true crowdfunding. You want to talk about crowdfunding? It's not just money being thrown your way. It's effort. It's time. It's investment. It's, you know, knowledge. And that's how I am where I am. Not because of any kind of investment from a fucking corporation. You know, I'm not backed by a fucking company paying me. It's people who actually have passion supporting the content and improving it, you know? That's awesome to think about that. That literally everything here is from the community. It's not some fucking corporation paid for this. This is not, you know, Chick-fil-A artwork. This is not a fucking Raid Shadow Legends webcam. This is all the community made this happen, man. You know what I'm saying? That's amazing. So, there you go. What's hilarious is, oh, I wouldn't mind if you had a paid sponsor. Well, I would. That's the point. That's how I'm different. How do you not get that, right? And the thing is, people don't like that because they want to pretend that I'm not different. They want to pretend like, oh, his content's bad or whatever. And you can't. When you actually look at the things that set me apart from everything else, and they're actually concrete, then they want to discredit them. Well, fuck you. Fuck you. No, I've actually strived to stay independent for 15 years and not be under some influence of outsiders and people who tried to do this shit to me over the years. You know what I mean? It's different. It is very different from other people who are constantly doing that kind of shit. Taking the ad, taking the paid bullshit, you know. Taking the 50K to be something you don't want to be just for the sake of making a fucking getting that bag. You know what you could do with that bag? You could shove it up your fucking ass. Because that's not what I'm about. I'm here to be passionate, to make real content, to have good social interactions with a community who cares. That's the difference between me and everyone else out there taking their bags and fucking making it, man. All right? Did I participate in Small Business Saturday? I am Small Business Saturday. I am a small business. So I am the small business on Small Business Saturday. I'm working. So no, I didn't spend any money on small businesses. I am the small business. You guys who contributed today, you contributed to Small Business Saturday.